Gemini, some spine tingling energy is coming your way in October. Are you ready for it? Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Shalom all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Transformational Tarot, your October reading for October. And Geminis, I'm super excited to be connecting with you guys today. For your overarching theme, we are going to pull a card from the Sweet Ass Affirmations 2 deck because I am in a sassy mood and I need a little sass. And then you're going to get a reading from the Flight of the Butterfly Tarot. And this is my newest deck to my new collection. And it's divine and delectable and delicious and all the things. So I'm pretty sure you're going to love the energy. And let's get to it and see what we've got coming up for you for October. Okay, so we are going to shuffle up these bad boys and see what the energies are for you. So I definitely feel that spine tingling energy coming up, which always says to me there's anticipation, something to look forward to, something that is coming that is, I want to say, exciting to anticipate, but also something that may be a little titillating, something we don't really know about, or we're a little nervous. I like to say nervous-sided, right? You're nervous because you're afraid that if it sucks, it's not going to be fun, but you're also kind of excited because you're ready for a little something new to fall into your inbox, right? Oh, I love this. As I seize my moments, they are mine forever. So as an overarching theme for you guys, the month of October is really going to provide you with a lot of opportunity, a lot of those moments to remind yourself that you're alive, to make deeper connections. And I want to say some opportunities to get into the hot water or to get out of the hot water. And all of these choices, they're going to be mine. They're going to be yours, actually, not mine. They're going to be yours forever. And I love this because this is accountability. This is the opportunity for you to say, whatever it is that I'm choosing to embrace, it is mine. It's mine in a very personal way. And even if I'm sharing the experience with another person, my experience of the experience is solely mine. It's a delicious way to live your life. And it's kind of an exciting way to, I want to say, approach this month. I feel that mine forever also really speaks to the levels of independence that you're craving and the levels of depth of awareness that you're craving in terms of your own soul. And I feel that that's very much what's going to be coming up this month for you. Kind of getting to know your soul space and your soul energy. So presently, where are you at right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Ooh, we've got the Hierophant. Beautiful. Okay. So you're really questioning your beliefs. You're questioning, I've believed this for a really long time, but now it doesn't really seem to resonate, or it doesn't seem to really fit. It's not something I'm feeling like I can truly sink my teeth into. I feel also like you're questioning, not lies that people have been telling you, but you're questioning people's stories. And I'm going to say, I've got my perspective, you've got yours, and then there's somewhere in the middle, right? So there are always multiple sides to any story. But for whatever reason, I feel like this is a month where you're seeing through other people's stories, or you're seeing where other people are on their journeys based on the stories that they are relaying to you, based on the stories they're telling. And I feel like this is a journey for you in recognizing where you in your life want to break with tradition, where you in your life are starting to examining some different limiting beliefs in order to get to the truth of where you're at now. I feel like this is a month where it's all about alignment for you. And yes, you've got for most of you, you've got a pretty clear path on where you're going. Some of you are kind of in the, I want to say the phoenix growing phase where you're a little bit, like I don't have a vision exactly. I'm not who I was, but I don't know who I'm becoming. And, I'm just kind of working through that right now. But for a lot of you, there is, that vision. And for those of you who don't have the vision yet, this is still going to really help to bring that vision to light. So that alignment piece is really important. And I feel like the Hierophant is helping you to align to that. It's a number 5, which is change, shift, transformation. And that's exactly what this is going to be about for you. Seeing in other people the stories they tell helps you to align with your new path, with the story that you are creating about yourself, for yourself. Who am I becoming? Ooh, that's really interesting. This is your catalyst. What's fueling or hindering your transformation? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? 8 of Wands. Definitely rocket fuel. I want to say when we're talking about that catalyst, you are really getting to that space of clearing the path, shedding the weight, shedding the people, places, and things that, again, are not being honest with themselves, are telling themselves, stories that you just can't get behind. Or again, it's not from a place of judgment, like kicking someone to the curb because of, what they are delusional about within themselves, although in some cases that could be. This is more about a frequency, recognition of a particular frequency. Am I aligned with this person and the stories they tell? Do they ever tell stories that align with the universal truth? If the answer is yes, most of the time, then this might be an anomaly. If you answer not really, then this might be a time for you to really evaluate how much time you want to spend, how much time you want to invest in this relationship or this particular environment or this place. 8 of Wands is definitely a swift release as well. And I feel like that's where the rocket fuel comes in. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's the Wizard of Oz. And I feel like that's exactly what this is saying. Once you realize how this fits or no longer fits in your life, there's no other option for you. It's like, okay, I got to cut ties and I'm moving forward. Or I'm just choosing now, very clearly, choosing now to not lean in to this person, place, or thing. I'm choosing to redirect my energy. And eventually the person will pick up what I'm putting down. Or I may have to have that uncomfortable conversation. Sorry, we get cat butt in the face here, cat tail. The deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving your transformation under the surface at this time? Oh, I'm actually feeling it's this one. Interesting. Yes. 2 of Cups. So sometimes we connect with people on a soul level. We can even go as far as to say it's a soulmate connection. And even those soulmate connections and bonds aren't meant to last forever. And I feel like when we're talking about this deep root, there are going to be awarenesses for you this month, looking at it again, like the I can't unsee you, that is going to shift your perspective of the dynamic forever. Don't get scared. This isn't about, having to walk away or abandon like a years long relationship or friendship or anything like that. You always have choice in this, but it's understanding different layers and levels of frequency. And I feel like this is that deep root energy that you're going to start to recognize where you've been maybe healing another or maybe suppressing yourself and your own needs because you feel that there's no one else that can actually meet you where you're at. And you're just seeing that the dynamic in that, that particular relationship or friendship or family dynamic or work environment that you now can't unsee. So it doesn't mean you have to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but it does mean that the invitation here for you is to get really clear about what your frequency is, where you stand on this, how your love, how your heart space is speaking. What's the heart language that you're receiving around this dynamic? Rather than the sort of the language that we all speak, English, you want to speak love frequency language. What is that love frequency language that's being spoken to you about this dynamic? Listen to that. That language is going to, that frequency is going to lay out the path for you. It's going to let you know what the, I want to say, the highest and best next step will be for you in terms of this relationship or this dynamic. Wow, that's really interesting. Also, with the caduceus, I'm feeling a lot of healing that is going to be coming up when you do recognize some of these subconscious triggers or these, maybe slightly unhealthy patterns in your dynamics. It's going to be healing for you. And it's going to be healing for you in a way where you say, I can finally put my finger on this now. And now that I have my finger on it, now I feel a little more confident in the choices that I need to make or that I'm choosing to make in order to feel better about this, in order to find a way forward that is comfortable for both me and the other person or the situation or the scenario. For those of you whom this resonates with around work, I feel like there are going to be some subtle adjustments that you can make. I want to say you can make them without necessarily having to confront the person at work or without having to leave your job. And I feel like you want to listen to that heart frequency around that as well. So, even though we've got the 8 of Wands, swift release, get rid of the shit, don't panic. You don't need to get rid of your partner or your job or, something, your kid, if you're having an issue with your kid, right? It's understanding, okay, these are the bigger things that I am dealing with. And so I just need to really connect with that heart frequency energy so that I make the right calls that are going to be for the highest and best of all involved, including myself. What's dying away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Princess of Cups. So this is Page of Cups. Interesting. So idealism, which is normally the Knight of Cups, but I'm hearing the word idealism. A little bit of innocence around believing in someone's potential. That's what's dying away here. Believing in someone's potential, but someone's potential, if they don't do anything to bring it to light, then it doesn't really exist. It's a figment. It's an illusion. I feel like there's a lot of illusory energy that is passing away, dying away, falling away from you at this time. And again, it's that pay no attention to the man behind the curtain energy. But I feel like it's moving along because for you, what you want to really replace with it is, again, that heart frequency energy, the language of love as frequency. And this card very typically is a card of creativity. It's a message, like a messenger that usually comes into the mix. And it is about the realm of emotion. And I feel like from that creative perspective, you are breaking out of this pattern or habit of being connected to people, places, and things that suck your creativity. Either they suck your creativity by sucking your time and energy so you don't have the time and energy to be creative in the ways that you want to, or they take over your creative space. It needs to be about them. There are some, other options in there, other layers in there, but those are the two that are just kind of coming up for me in my mind's eye right now. And I feel like here so what role, pattern, or identity has run its course? I feel like this is a pattern. It's a pattern that's run its course. And I feel like this isn't a bad thing. Like, it is time for this to go. It is time for the princess to become the queen, or to start learning or training on how to be a queen. She can still do that in a creative space, but it's removing the idealism and blending it, not replacing it. I would say blending it. So not removing the idealism, it's blending idealism with some realism, because that's really where the magic can happen, right? You still keep the core of the idea, the core of the something new, but you also have substance in the now to actually be able to create it, right? To bring it into being. That's so important. And that's where the idealism gets lost. You know, cups energy has a hard time, they're always in flow. Cups energy has a hard time actually manifesting something into the physical. They get lost in the shuffle, which is why they need a more balancing energy to be able to help them manifest things into the physical. And I feel like that's you. That's you. You're creating that energy. All right, we are diving into your Phoenix potential, highest Phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Love this. So, Geminis, it's your card. Gemini, the lovers. What is your soul calling you towards? It's calling you towards yourself. Your soul is calling you to rise into a different level of you, a graduation of sorts. That's been a word that's been coming through in a lot of the readings so far today, is this idea of graduation, leveling up. I feel like here with the lovers, especially where you also got the Two of Cups energy that's coming through, it's learning to love yourself, but it's also learning to love others as they are for who they are, without over giving, over investing, over sharing. Again, breaking the pattern of the idealism of the potential and stepping into the reality of who they are and what they have to offer. Breaking the spell. And it's not breaking the spell for them. It's breaking the spell for you so that you can be more real with yourself and with that person in terms of what they're able to provide you and what you're able to provide them, so that there is more balanced reciprocity in the exchange. For some of you, this is really going to be about work and certain roles and responsibilities that you're going to be exchanging or shifting or kind of drawing a line with around, I'll do this, but I won't do this anymore, you know, or I'll do this, but I need help, or I'll do this, but then this is the thing that is sacrificed. I'm not going to be all things to all people anymore, simply because I don't need to be. I shouldn't have to be. And so I teach others how I wish to be treated. And so this is how I wish to be treated at this time. And I feel like you have the choice to do that. And I know we're in a kind of an interesting sort of environmental, a work environment right now where a lot of people are afraid to speak up and speak their truth, you know, because we don't know from one minute to the next whether we're going to have a job or not, you know, all the things and the stuff. I'm saying to you, you're protected. Speak your truth. Say what you need to say. Be clear on what it is that you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do, and trust that that it's going to work out. I really feel like for a lot of you, they need you more than you need them. So when you keep that in mind and you speak up, speak your truth with confidence, not conceit, not with demand, just more of a firm, here's how it's going to go, and here's my solution, you know, to how it's going to be. So you tell people, this is what's going to happen moving forward, and here's why it's going to work, or here are the things that I'm going to do to help everybody through this transition. So be solutions focused, right? You can tell people what you need and what to do without being, you know, sort of overbearing about it or being worried that you have to, you know, get permission. This isn't about asking for permission. It's about, if you have to, ask for forgiveness on the other side, but remembering they need you more than you need them. All right, what is emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support this next phase for you? Oh, that's the one. Interesting. 7 of Cups. You got a lot of cups today. So speaking of choice, I think it's interesting that we just had, Lovers, which definitely is it's reflection, but it's also choice and the choices that we make. Okay, you make a better door than a window. Thank you, Fuzz. And then we also have the Seven of Cups, which very much is about choice. It's also about dreams and illusions. And we talked a little bit about illusions here as well. So with that Seven of Cups energy coming through, in terms of this, what's emerging, I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, what is emerging? The energy that I'm getting here for you is that you want to be recognizing that there are false choices, or how do I put this into words? Like, not everything is as it seems. Not everything is going to be everything it's cracked up to be, or everything that it's advertising itself to be. So I feel like the Seven of Cups is coming through for you to give yourself the heads up to tune in on a psychic level before you make any decisions about anything. To tune in on that psychic level to get clarity around kind of what the heart of the matter is. And I feel like by you tuning in, what you're doing is you're strengthening that skill set. You're strengthening your ability to use your spidey senses and to be able to rely on your spidey senses so that you aren't making false choices. You aren't choosing the illusion. You're actually choosing the reality, because the reality is always going to bloom, blossom, and grow right in the moment. The illusion is going to take you down a garden path for a while, and it might waylay you. It might take you a while before you recognize, oh, this wasn't what I wanted at all. And then it's kind of a bit of a time waster, right? So Seven of Cups is coming through to say, we're giving you an opportunity to really put your spidey senses into practice, to really understand how you tick and to trust that. Because you're going to need it moving forward. You're going to have more situations where people are showing up with their potential and not necessarily with their capability or their honest choices. And that often leads to that pattern of you falling into helping someone to reach their potential, or accepting that, okay, they say a lot of things, but they're not necessarily doing anything about them. And now I'm in a space where I've invested a lot, and so I might as well just keep on going. And now I'm not getting as much satisfaction out of this dynamic as I could be. So definitely feeling a lot of that energy coming up. All right, you in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Another cup. Looking at this, I feel like you're actually grieving a bit. And I feel like that grief is okay. Don't beat yourself up for the grief. I feel like some of you are even going to be a little surprised that you're feeling grief. And part of this, I feel, is because maybe you have felt that you've been disillusioned for a while. You didn't realize it until all of a sudden you saw it, and then it was a disappointment. There was a letdown. There was a, wow, how have I been in this space, for so long? Or how did I not see this thing? How did I not see that I was holding myself in place for a situation, for an outcome that just was dangling the carrot, right? Like, we're dangling the chrysalis here, always in wait mode, never in the, oh, yay, it's arrived. So when we're talking about this Four of Cups is disappointment, it's despondency, it's also delay. So that grieving process is there because I feel like there's a part of you that is this month kind of recognizing maybe, wow, I could have been so much further if I had done this or if I had seen that. And I want to say to you, don't waste the worry on that. You are where you are right now because this is where you're supposed to be. We can get lost in the weeds of, I should have done this, I should have done that. Things would have been so much different. No, the bottom line is you're where you're at right now because this is where you need to be now. You wouldn't have been ready for any of that any sooner. Clearly, these were lessons that you needed to learn. Neo is really agreeing with this, and he's agreeing with his tail, he's agreeing with his head. Of course, I do these videos normally during the day. Today, I decided to do some a little at night, and of course, it's close to dinner time. So this is what I get. I get extra love, and Mama, I have a stomach. So that Four of Cups energy, don't worry, you're not going to get stuck in this. I feel like here in October, grieve what you need to grieve. Acknowledge, where you maybe feel duped or where you feel that you've lost time, where maybe you feel like you missed the mark or you missed the message. Acknowledge it and then move forward. This is an opportunity for you to boldly rise. You don't have to be stuck in grief of this. You can boldly rise from this. And the delay, I want to say, is appropriate. It's absolutely appropriate. Okay, Fuzz, you need to go. I love you. Go, go, go. Choo, choo, choo. Get. Come on. Mama's working. Yeah, scooch. Thank you. Okay, we have your circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it positive or negative? Ace of Pentacles. So I feel very much that this is a month where you are really planting some new seeds. You are creating a different, now I'm not saying you're getting rid of your circles of support, but I definitely feel like you're leaning on different energies, different people, especially for those of you that I'm picking up on with work. I feel like you're making different alliances at work. You are recognizing that, like I can't get blood from a stone, so I'm looking elsewhere to get the resources that I require, to get the information that I need in order to be able to move forward. And in friendships or in family dynamics and family circles, I feel like you're just choosing to do things in a slightly different way. If I've planted the same seed over and over again and like I keep getting the same result, but it's not the result I want, then I need to plant different seeds, or I need to plant seeds in a different garden or a different pot. And I feel very much that that's what's coming up here. So yes, you are being influenced in a positive way. I do feel that you have circles of support. I also feel that you during this month are evaluating those circles of support and saying, where do I need to improve this? Where do I need to tweak this? Do I have any holes in my circle of support? Are there any roles that have not been fulfilled? Maybe it's time to audition for a position, right? So take a look at that. Many, many years ago, I did a workshop. It was an Archangel Conversations and Beyond workshop. And a friend of mine helped me out to expand upon an exercise that I was working on with the particular Archangel. And I can't remember for the life of me now who it was, but it was talking about like who's at your dinner table. When you invite someone over to the party, you have all of these different archetypes around you, the helper, the healer, the sage, the wise one. I can't remember all of them right now. The achiever, the empowerer. So I feel like you might want to make a list of, people that you would really like to have around you, people that, maybe encourage you to do better, people that are your cheerleader and support all the things that you do right now, people that are there to hold you when you're fragile or when you're vulnerable, people who challenge you to go further, those kinds of things. Make a list of that and then see if you can fit the circles of support into those roles. And then notice if there are any roles where you don't have someone that fits that role. And then you can start to manifest that into your life and into your space. Definitely going to be a month where you're evaluating those circles of support. And you're also just kind of looking for, what am I missing? What more do I need? What more can I add to this circle? Maybe it's not about taking away. Maybe it's in addition to. I like that. Okay, so now we have, who are you dreaming of becoming? And what scares you about actually doing it? Oh, Four of Swords, you're dreaming of being able to relax a little bit, to not be so in your head, to not be the warrior all the time, not having to fight the fight and uh, navigate the war and strategize the plan and pick up the trash on the other side of things and call the caterer to make sure that all the stuff is there. I feel like the dream, the goal for you is to really be in a space where you don't have to work so hard. You don't have to invest so much time and energy into your dynamics. The fear is that if you do this, you're going to be isolated all on your own, that people are going to forget about you. And it might not be as on the nose and obvious as that. But I do feel that there's definitely a subtle thread of that that's going on for whatever reason. It could be, you're struggling with your value and worth. It could be that you haven't, found those really true lasting deep connections. It could be that those lasting deep connections are shifting and changing, and maybe you've lost a little trust in them. It could be that your life is changing, your lifestyle, time of life is changing, and therefore your needs are changing and you're just concerned about that. I mean, it can be all sorts of things. But I want to say to you in a really clear way, this Four of Swords is a beautiful place to be. So if this is your hope and your fear, it's not a bad place to be. You can do something with this, because this is about rest, recharge, a truce. And it's giving yourself a chance to kind of regroup, because on the other side of this, you're going to look at this and you're going to say, oh, I actually feel now after that bit of rest that I have some clarity. And now I kind of know where I'm going and growing, or I have an idea of where I want to go, or what I need, or how I want to fill those holes in my list. So I want to say the hopes and fears, this Four of Swords, is really supportive. It may not come across as that on first blush, but it actually is really supportive. And now he's actually sitting on my hand. Like, this is ridiculous. Okay, Fuzz, you need to find another spot. Thank you. Scooch, 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 scooch. Thank you. And now, Geminis, we are at the outcome. If you stay on course for October, who will you be on the other side of this journey? What is the result of embracing the full cycle of death and rebirth? Drum roll, please. Oh, I love this. Temperance. Okay, so this is a Sagittarius card. I feel like it's important to say that because Sagittarius is the fire sign, and fire and air absolutely need one another in order to, exist and do their thing. Temperance is alchemy. And I feel like at the end of October and into the beginning of November, when all of this stuff comes to pass, you're going to really have a clear picture of what it is that you need, why you need it, and there's not going to be any angst around it. There's more of a, okay, now I know what materials, what resources I need, and I know what combinations to put them in to be able to alchemize this new, I want to say, circle of support, these new experiences. And when we talk about as I seize my moments, they are mine forever. You need to go. Thank you. So I definitely feel here when we're talking about that temperance energy, this is about you really stepping into giving yourself permission to create what you need. And I feel like you're creating it with confidence. You're creating it with a lot of knowledge and know-how. I want to say you're creating it because you've examined the limiting beliefs. You know exactly what this needs to be now. And what a beautiful journey to be able to say in 1 month's time, you have gone through this whole phase. This is a phase that can happen sometimes over a year. You're doing it in a month. And I don't mean to say to you that it's going to be, uber intense, because I don't feel that. I feel more like you're following the flow of it. You're surrendering into what it is. You're allowing it to take you where you need to be. You're experiencing the grief. And on the other side of it, you're being really truthful with yourself about what it means. And then you really get the answers that you need to be able to build something new or to know how to add to the magic that you're creating for yourself. Wow. Geminis, I just love that. So that is your transformational tarot for October. And as always, I'm sending you guys so much love and support. If you need some extra guidance, support, plans, whatever it is you need, feel free to click on the link below and book a session with me. It's what I'm here for. Would love to be of service in that way. Otherwise, I'm lifting you guys up. And until we see you for another segment of Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life, I will see you on the flip side and transform well.